Climb to the top of the world, but the North Star has already flown. I hear rumors of a place where the soul was born. I watch all the bright lights shimmer, try to see something where there is none. And I really believe that I could touch the sun. Down low and watch all the vampires in silhouette. I run for the hills and try to keep my head. There's still a chance we can make it. If you hold on, hold on, hold. It's what I'm saying, but the words don't come out right.
Lose control, you try to stay afloat. I know you feeling like you lost and that you missed your boat. Some days you wanna go and quit and go and get the rope, but don't you ever go and do it, go and have some hope. Just knowing that I feel your pain, cause I've been broken too. You try to go and tell your feelings, no one noticed you. Just know I really feel your pain, know what you going through. And don't you ever feel alone, cause I've been hopeless too.
It's okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay that way. The one thing I know about emotions is that they change. You have a reason to live. Get up. Your future is brighter than your past. Get up. Your ladder is greater than your former. Get up, because the best is still yet to come.
On your hardest days, take a deep breath and repeat these words. Whatever happens, I will be okay. These feelings won't break me. I always end up okay, and this time is no different. I can survive this too.
I just want to let you know that you are honestly one of the most amazing human beings that I've met in this life. And I know this may seem dramatic, but I appreciate you.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Paracrew podcast. Hi, Squeaks.
Hi.
Did that get you?
Of course it did.
So, welcome everybody to the show. Tonight's going to be a little more, I don't want to say serious, because we do like to have fun. And as you guys saw in the intro, we have two amazing guests tonight. But like the title says, it's time for a change. You know what? There's really no way to introduce this show, Squeaks, rather than to just dive into it.
Yep.
Because honestly, deeper. Thank you. Deeper. It was a deeper show tonight. It's a deeper show. So we'll say hello to everybody in the audience, but just one moment, because we have two amazing individuals in the back. So first and foremost, you guys know that every month that the Para Crew brings this individual on, and we are honored to have him aboard with us. And he is probably one of the most positive guys that I've ever met. I don't think I've ever heard or seen him get upset. I've seen him get passionate about it, talking with this stuff. But anyway, you guys know him. You guys love him. Charles, my brother, welcome back.
Hello, hello. That was an amazing video coming in. Amazing.
Thank you. Believe it or not, the inspiration actually came today. I was on my way to a job interview, which we'll go over this in just a little bit. And I started seeing some of these videos, and I'm just like, bet I can do better. No, I saw it, and I was like, you know what? No, this needs to be said. But I know I said Charles is one of the most positive. Well, somebody else is very positive too, and that's our other co-host / guest tonight. You guys know him. Everybody knows him. He is a huge supporter in the paranormal field, and not just paranormal, but really everybody. And he's also one of the newest P3 family members. And we are honored to have him here. So please help him, guys. Our brother, the Don himself, Victor Santiago from the Don Vic Show.
What's up?
What's up, brother?
What's up, brothers? What's up going on? What's going on, y'all? Okay.
Yeah, Victor, brother, welcome back to the show. It's been a hot minute since we've had you on, bro.
Yes, thank you. That was very touching, that intro.
Thank you. It was definitely one that even it had me tearing up, but it was literally one of those ones where I'm like, it's not done yet. I'm not done yet. I was nitpicking with it. I was even picking with it when I was backstage with Squeakers. So when she first came in, I sent the link, and I'm still working on it. And
he tried twice, guys.
I was like, shh, quiet. Hold on. I got something. Hold on. But anyway, guys, welcome to the show. It's great to have you both back. And, we were going to talk about some things. And in case anybody is wondering, this is going to be an NC-17 show. So there's that, number one. Number two, this is going to be, there's some topics that are probably going to come up that are a little sensitive, we'll just say, to some people. So try to bear with it. If you can't, we understand. But first, let's say hello to our awesome audience, starting with somebody who's missing from the Para Crew podcast. Well, there's 3 people missing, but one of the creepiest guys I've ever met in my life, Lurker. Lurker's sick in bed. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry to see you in bed. Yeah. But you're in our hearts, brother. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you. You need to get your ass back up here. Oh, absolutely. Big hearts.
Yeah. Get better.
So, my mouse is okay. There we go. There, my mouse just decided to act up on me. What's up, Spuzzle? Casey? And of course, we saw Leafy in. Hello, Joanne. Welcome back. Steven. Wait, Steven's in here? Steven's in here? Big Papa Pun's in here?
I think so.
We'll hit on that one
I
too.
got tired of us calling him Boss Man.
I like Big Papa Pun.
Hi, Liz.
Liz. Hi, Liz. And then, of course, Aaron Hoffman. What's up, brother? How you doing? You guys haven't. Aaron's got a great show too, Spectre Radio, and he's even got a hell of a magazine, an online magazine, A View Beyond. Love it. Nando, what's up, brother? We're doing all right. Leafy saying hello to Charles. If I missed some of your comments, guys, I do apologize. Oh, of course, it's Raymond. Raymond's here. No. What's up, brother? How you doing? Let's see.
What's up, Raymond?
Yep, let's say hello to Charles. Just got back from physical therapy this week. Tired to feel that. It's been a lot. Been a lot of rough week, I think, for a lot of us. Joe, what is up, brother? I haven't seen you on the Facebook side in a hot minute. There's our boy Tanner. He's another good one. Who really believes in mental health and even the physical health too. I love Tanner. Tanner's amazing. Dina, You guys are killing it tonight. I love it, love it, love it. Switching accounts. Cool, cool, cool. Well, guys, welcome to the show. So tonight, again, if you missed it, we are going to be talking about mental health and mental health awareness. But first, let's start off with how everyone's been doing. Let's catch up. Charles, first, let's start with you, brother. We haven't spoken in a good hot minute. What have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been interesting. As Squeakers knows, because she's here in the area, we kind of went through a weekend of very high winds, 50, 60 mile an hour, and like at the night going like I had to cancel my show on Friday night because we couldn't. Our internet was going into brownouts, and the dogs were going crazy because even though those were the high winds, right here where I am, and I'm in town, we were having 30, 40 mile steady winds, just going. So, and then the next day it snowed. So we've been going through, at least it didn't snow. It could have been worse. Could have been snowing and going 30 miles an hour. But so we're into winter, exciting things with, well, interesting that on my show tonight too, we're talking about, you know, how we spend our time. That time is our most valuable asset. And we're talking about mental health. We're talking about, you know, being in a positive place. And you can be in a positive place, and sometimes you're joyful, and sometimes you're really sad, and sometimes you're angry, and you can do all those things from a positive place. You know, today is also, didn't know this before Bright got to the show and saw some messaging from my brother. Today marks a year ago today my dad passed away. Oh, and he was much, you know, over the years, we've been distant as far as he lives in Michigan. I live here. We talk from time to time, but I also realized that the family that was there, that was with him every day, are missing him more, even though I miss him. You know what I mean? And this past few weeks, I've always worked with people. I've done a lot of my work has been with people near death or on their deathbeds. And the thing I can share, and it speaks so much to this show, is every single one of them, when they look back through life and they look back at what was important, and they were in that place where they were really repairing relationships, contemplating things, the one thing they all said is time is the most valuable asset that we have. So how we spend our moments makes up so much of how we physically feel, how we mentally feel, how we interact with the people around us. And there's going to be struggle, and there's going to be sadness, and there's going to be times in your life that you're like, my God, where did this day come from? But like your intro showed, how we respond, how we live those moments is 100% up to us. And it really is. And the more you realize that, and the more you realize what's more important is how, at the end of life, I don't think you look back and you see, well, here's all the things I did. You look back and say, this is how I made the people around me feel.
100%.
And if you can come from that place in your life, how am I impacting other people? I could say the same word 5 different ways. How is it going to impact people? You know what I mean? It can be hi Matt. Hi Matt. Matt. You know what I mean? Energy is the co-creation of your life.
Absolutely.
What's fueling it and what's coming out.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I agree with Leafy here. We are, you know, our deepest condolences to you and your family, Charles, for your loss. I know too, as well, you know, I think we've all had loss in our lives, and the 1 year mark usually is the worst. So, you know, our condolences. We are thinking about you as well. So Victor, my brother.
No, man, what's going on, my brother?
I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But apparently we're doing a show. So what's going on up there in Boston? What has been Victor up to?
You know, same old thing. You know, getting shows lined up, and getting ready for 2023. Got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of events that I'm going to be going to. Movie premieres. We just got nominated for Best Song for the movie Saving Anna, which is based on human trafficking. And so I'll be going to the premiere in April, I believe, in April. And if we get nominated for the movie itself, then we get to go to California for the Oscars.
Wow. Best wishes and
Nice.
prayers, brother. That's
So,
awesome.
you know,
Congrats.
I'm working, man. I'm working.
He's hustling. The man's a hustler.
Yes, sir.
It's been a hot minute since we've well, Victor and I we talk a lot, but it's been a minute since we've had him on the Para Crew, and awesome to have you back.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So, guys, let's just dive in. Like I said, there's really no way to really do this. We all know the stigma that comes with this time of year. A lot of depression, a lot of people lock up, shut down. I know myself, I've just went through my own little spurt with depression, which, by the way, a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but depression isn't just one of those things you just get through and then, it goes away. No, it sticks with you. It stays with you. It's no getting over it and, everything's peachy. But this is what I want to talk about starting off, the seasonal stuff. So I want to start with you, Charles, brother. I want to ask you. So a lot of people, like around this time of year, they do start getting the anxiety. They start, getting depressed and stuff like that. And a time to where this is supposed to be the happiest. You got Thanksgiving, which is literally right around the corner, and then Christmas or Yule, whatever you celebrate. Right. Either way, it's a season of blessings. And these next couple months, for most, are the hardest. And my big question is, why? Why, in your opinion, is that?
Well, I think it's a couple things. And one of the biggest, you wouldn't think this would be such a controversial thing, but we need to get rid of the fallback. The fallback is not a good thing. It's not proven to be a good thing for people in accidents. More heart attacks happen, more depression comes in because we darken ourselves. And it's so interesting. I know 30-some states have passed it. Mental health people have come out almost unanimously for, let's not do that. Because I know people, and I know people very personally that have, what they various types of seasonal disorders. So the darkness becomes part of it. Especially when you work during the day and you go during the day and you come home and your non-working time is in darkness. That's a thing. So doing things like taking the vitamin D, folks, is real. If you live in areas like Spokane, Northwest, or areas where you really get a lot of the dark time, it's important. A few years back, I had a doctor that did some tests and stuff, and she was like, you know what, you need to. She actually prescribed, and she's like, because I just moved I'd been to Portland at that time for about a year, and she's like, you're gonna, and she prescribed me like 3,000 a week for like 6 months, and then she's like, now you should be okay, and it's like, and I was surprised. I mean, I don't take medications, and that was a medication, but it was like, no, you need to be taking this much, and part of what I was going through at the time was of like, I'm a little bit more depressed. I am this, I'm that. There are natural ways. That's one. D3 when you're losing the sunlight. The second thing is because it's that happiest time of the year, because it's like, oh yay, the whole family is going to get together for Thanksgiving, or oh yay for Christmas, unless you're one of many people that it's not an oh yay, that maybe your family isn't getting along, or you're bringing people together that oh my God, there's going to be fights, there's going to be this, there's going to be that, and so or you're the black sheep not getting invited. Who knows? There's a lot of things for people. They say it's the happiest time of the year, but yet they're not feeling it's the happiest time of the year. And it could be because they've lost loved ones. It could be because inner fighting that's gone on. You had it perfectly in the intro. This is hate versus love, my folks. What is fueling your life? Is love fueling it, or is hate fueling it? It's very easy in our world today for multiple reasons. Ethnic, religious, political, to hate each other, and that's a game we need to refuse to play.
Yep, 100%.
We need to say, I'm not going to do it. But the combination of the darkness, the pressure, because you're going to be happy, you're going to do this, and so anyone that's missing things, missing a loved one, missing a connection, far away from their loved ones, they're not feeling that happiness. And then they're comparing themselves and going, oh wow, everybody else is so excited and so happy, and I'm less and less part of what I could see is going on. when honestly for everyone what's going on is a little bit of depression. I talk to a lot of people that mothers and partners that plan all these big meals and plan all these things, and they get stressed out. You know what I mean? So there's a way of like, we all need to reach out to each other and say, how can we make this truthfully a joyful, happy event and time? I love friends, and I've done it before. Make this a time when are there people in your community don't have any family, or that have nowhere to go? Do 2 holiday meals. Do a holiday meal with your core family, and then choose a time on that weekend or right around it and say, we're going to do this is for all my friends that don't have anywhere to go.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanksgiving.
Victor? Go ahead, Squeak. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I did my first one a couple years ago, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it was our first one and our last one that we did. And I mean to do another one, but we all live in different areas. But I tell you what, it was one of the best and funnest things I ever was a part of outside of family.
Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes friends are a bigger influence and a bigger support group than what family is. And when I say family, I mean blood. I don't mean you. I think of all you guys as my family, but I mean blood family. Yeah. So, Victor, what about you, brother? What do you think? What are your thoughts on that? What is it about the holidays this time of year?
Well, before I get into it, I just want to get a little feedback on what Charles was saying about being in a dark place.
Mm.
I ain't been in a dark place in like years. Recently I got into a situation, Matt. You know about it because we spoke about it.
Yep.
And I never been. It's been years since I've been in a dark place, and it's been years since I've been depressed, right? And I try to deal with it, right? And the worst thing about it is sometimes, we're entertainers. So the hardest thing for me is coming on my show, putting on my character, smiley face, being funny like I usually do, but inside I'm being torn apart.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like there's no way out, because I got to deal with this situation, right? I don't depend on nobody. Everything I do on my own. I do have a family, but I'm kind of distant from my family, because the stuff that I used to do in the past and stuff like that, so I decided to depart myself from my family because I do my own thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, when now Christmas and all these holidays are coming and, I don't have a certain individual in my life, it eats me up because when you love someone, right? When you love someone and you having a get together and that someone it's not there, it eats you inside because you're like, wow, what could I've done to prevent it, the situation, right?
Yeah.
What can I do? And I just feel like my hands are tied. My hands are tied. I can't do nothing. It's out of my power. So, when the holidays come in, it's going to be real tough for me to sit there and put a smiley face when I'm not happy, when I'm in a dark place and I'm depressed.
Fair enough. And honestly, brother, I know exactly how you feel because a lot of you have probably seen, I don't know, Charles, if you've seen, but a couple weeks back, I went live and said I was taking a sabbatical. I was taking a step back from the paranormal, from the podcast. Well, not really the paranormal, but just the podcast in general. Because honestly, Victor, you and I have that in common. If you guys go back, and this is the only time I'll tell you to go back on any of my videos, but if you go back, 2 months and then go back 6 months, like go back to when I first met Squeakers Lurker, go back when the Paracruise first started, really popping and, really starting to get out there. And then look at some recent videos. I can even see it. And I don't watch my own videos. I can see it right here. I see I'm not myself. And I know exactly what you're talking about because I was doing these lives and I wasn't giving you guys my 100%. I wasn't giving Squeakers, my co-host, my support 100%. Lurker, same way. Jonathan Myers from Crossover, my wife even. And I'm not even just talking about just the podcast. My personal life too was affected. I started shutting down. And that's when I made that move. Which actually, this is something that I want. We kind of touched on the last show, Charles, but I want to get your guys' thoughts on this one. And Victor, we'll start with you, brother. So obviously, depression, anxiety, fear, all that negativity, all that BS, it can be from the outside. But where it really hits is right here inside, both in the heart and the body, because it is a physical thing. You can physically feel it. And it's a mental disorder as well. It affects you mentally. I want to know what you guys do. What's your trick or your process to break that, to kind of help yourselves out? Like, what can you advise people that help?
Well, for me, what helps me is to engage with the people, like I engage with you guys. Keep my mind off things, you know. I'm not saying that once it's all over, I'm not going to go back to that place, but to keep me motivated, to keep me going. I come on my show, I do my show, I engage with you guys, I talk to you guys, you know, and I might bring up the subject and get some opinion, and you know, and that helps me, you know, it helps me get over my anxiety, my depression, you know. It might bring me out of my darkness for just a while because my mind is not on that for that moment, you know. So to keep me motivated for the time being, would be on my podcast and staying busy, you know, stay busy. Now, when I get it into a depression mode, you know, I try to reach out to people. I don't have many friends. I know a lot of people, but I don't have many friends. You know what I mean? People I can call and say, "Listen, I'm going through this. You know, I need to talk to someone. I need to vent. You know, can we go have some dinner and maybe like talk or go out and play, you know, some hoop or something just to keep my mind off, you know, the stuff that I'm going through." So, you know, that's what I do to keep me going. You know, just vent with you guys and do my show because that's the only thing that keeps me motivated and keeps me happy. You know, it's to talk to people.
Fair. So a nice distractant. I agree with that. And, you know, I've said it on my show before too. That, you know, these are like therapy for me.
Yes.
And you know, it's nice because we do have, you know, a network. We may not, I mean, yeah, we may be thousands of miles apart, but I feel closer to some of these people like yourselves, everybody up here, and everybody in P3 and everybody I network with. I feel closer to you guys than the people that live right down the street. You know what I mean? So I feel that.
And how weird is that you can bond and becomes good friends with people from across the planet, and you can't stand your neighbor.
Well, my neighbor's a little.
Stand your neighbor.
I mean, my neighbor's a little weird. It's not like, what was it, Squeaks? That naked lawnmower guy? It ain't him, but.
Did you have him too?
No, actually, who was it? Was it Howard? Was it Howard?
Charles had him.
We had that a couple weeks ago in our alleyway. First, the guy in just his underwear and a lawnmower, and then fully naked. And many neighbors were calling, and there's kids outside. It was during the day. It was a thing. So,
hopefully not too cold.
No, it was still warm then.
Okay.
Warm. We were having 70s then. So lucky for naked lawnmower dude. But apparently he travels. We knew that.
Traveling naked lawnmower guy. Cool.
That's interesting. Okay.
Look out for a town near you. Well, I mean, what is it? Is it Seattle? Somebody does the naked bike run. I want to say it's
Seattle.
Seattle does that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's who. Get him involved with that. But Tanner.
Tanner might be the neighbor.
That's all Tanner. It's just Tanner. Just Tanner. So, Charles, what about you, brother? What are, because I know like I said, I've never seen you upset, but I know you get upset. I know we all do. What are some of the little tricks for you, or the tips for you for internally?
Things that I do and things that I share with clients. And I want to comment that I did see, because you had something. I did see what you shared a couple weeks ago. I think it was a couple weeks ago, where you were going through some things and sharing it and sharing that. And I like what you do and what Vic's doing and what Squeaks do. What we all do in our work is one of the things we do is we allow ourselves to be human with our audience. I have a lot of friends that have listened to my show and they'll say, Charles, oh my gosh, you were really feeling, you were in almost tears, you were this. Yes. And I want to be that authentic. And when you do these types of shows, people don't realize how much time goes into it, how much effort. And yeah, I've had times too when I just felt like, you know what? It's not there. I can't, I need to regroup. And when you were going through things a couple weeks ago, it was so interesting to me because I had several peers reaching out to me, all going through struggle. I was feeling some struggle. And I said to my partner, I watched the video that you post, and he said, so what was that about? I said, it's about what's going on for people right now. So many are just feeling so struggled. And then there is so much negativity and hate out there that intentionally or unintentionally comes out at you. And the more you put yourself out there, the more you have that opportunity for somebody to say something ridiculous. And then what happens is we take it in. We allow it, because what we should be realizing is that 99% of humans are coming from their own perception, not yours. If they're spewing a bunch of stuff, it's saying more about here, I hate. Wow, what is going on in there? And if some of that comes towards you, look at just being it really has nothing to do with you. A good friend of mine who I worked with, he's a trans man, he's autistic, he's gone through sex trafficking. I really want to talk to you about that, Vic, in your movie, because we have problems with that here. Yes. And he went through all these things. I said, how do you, and I said, are you sure? Because this is going out all over the world, and there are some people that are not going to may not respond in love and light to what you have to say. And he said, Charles, I learned long ago, when people say hateful things to me about where I was autistic in school, or when I came out as trans, or when I was dealing with some of the other issues in my life, I realized I felt sorry for them, because their ignorance and their hate was showing, and all I could imagine was what happened to them. And I looked at him, and he was being genuine. And here's someone who has been assaulted his whole life for different reasons. And yet when those assaults, and I'm talking about words are assault, my friends. The words get to us, hateful feelings, someone that, we're putting out a message of love and light. I literally got from a minister once a few years back on one of my shows I did about Jesus, and I'm all about Jesus is about love and etc. But I also say that Jesus came to end the concept of sin, not to die for sin. He came to say sins aren't real. Sins aren't real. Sins are made up. What's real is connect to this love energy and be in this love energy and love each other, and you got it. But he sent me a thing from that kind of a message and said, just so you know, I know you're going to rot in hell. And I'm like, I didn't even respond to the email. And he was like, Reverend so-and-so. And I'm like, interesting, Reverend so-and-so. That, yeah.
It's like okay. Positive. Yeah. Okay.
So when people come at you, the first thing you can do is not take it in. Even if it frustrates you, you're human. So if someone says, Matt, I hate your show. It's the worst show. I don't even know why I wasted any time watching the show. You go, well, great. Won't look for you to be watching the next show. Right. I hope you find a show that's good for you. You know what I mean? But
in more or less words, that's what I say.
Yeah. And
he do say that.
And the next piece to do is to have, and this is important, have real ways that you're gonna vent. I like to go out in the garage, and I have some speakers out there, and we have it set up to I like to go out the garage and I'll just sing for an hour or so. And I'll sing sometimes songs that are getting out, but it's the way of getting out that energy. Right. There's been time when my partners or roommates have heard it that I'll go out there and I'll be yelling because I'll be getting out something, Squeakers knows I shared a roommate here that she shared at one point that is a great person but can also be so frustrating. And my partner came out and he's like, Charles, I've never heard you like that. And I'm like, nor will you, because I'm getting it out now so that when this individual comes home, I can have a constructive conversation instead of strangle them. So give yourself places.
I'm laughing on a more serious note.
Give yourself a space to get to, and sometimes it is a friend. We all have those friends that we can call and say, hey, I just need to vent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to vent. And when I get done, I've let it off. So find a place and a way to vent. And then Vic said it perfectly. What do you love? When you're feeling darkness coming in, what's going to bring you some light? Is it going to be staying busy and doing your show? Is it going to be taking a night and watching your favorite movie? Is it going to be taking a drive? I know what my partner likes to drive. He'll be like, I'm just going to go for like a half-hour drive. And we got a lot of places around here you can drive that are pretty, Find that place. Right. Find that way that whatever it is it sitting, I know a friend of mine and she likes to sit in the tub with a candle and a glass of wine and a book. Perfect. Find that thing that gives you that reset, that gives you like, okay, I feel my energy's going down. I need to bring my energies up. Right. I'm going to make a choice. I'm not going to hide in the corner. I'm going to say, you know what? What do I need to do to get this out of me?
Because and I'm oh, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that it's so uncomfortable when you have your back against the wall and you have nowhere to go, no one to vent to. It takes you to a really, really dark place where a lot of things can happen. Suicide. Or you end up hurting someone over it. So you got to find a way out, whatever that way is. Because when we go through these situations and these things in life, depression, bad moments, we need to let loose some way, somehow, right? Because like Charles said, this world is full of so much negativity, that anything can lynch on, and tick you off. So you got to find a way to stay positive, stay focused on what it is that you're doing, because falling into depression, man, it's anything can happen.
Yeah. And I'm glad you guys brought up a couple key points here. But before I say what I want to say before we go to commercial, I want to bring up two comments real fast. Aaron Hoffman says, I remember when my darkness and stress was bad enough, it hospitalized me. Again, guys, this can physically hurt you.
Yes.
Your body can basically just say, screw you, and just shut down. On the verge of heart failure. There you go. Now I live in a small town like a recluse. Well, Aaron, you're going to get ripped into the center stage here quick. Nando says most important thing is to keep talking when you feel low, 100%, even when it's hard, and also never feel stupid or feeling depressed. It's real emotion, and people that say it's not real are the stupid people. 100%. It's 100%. Good to vent. Both Victor and Charles said that exact thing. It's perfect. And it's okay to vent or just scream or yell or.
And it's okay. It's okay for a man to cry.
Oh yeah.
Because I get that all the time. I was telling Matt earlier. I get some people say, "Oh, man ain't supposed to cry." Why not? Why can't a man cry? We got feelings. We ain't made of tin. We ain't robots.
I'd rather see a man cry than get in a DV situation because he had to hold his anger back.
Yes.
Thank you,
and a lot of
or worse
caused from that because they don't know how to they don't know how to get their anger issues out.
Honestly, I think that, and I told Victor this earlier today, a man that is willing to cry in front of anybody, especially their significant other, they're the strongest because they're that confident in themselves that they can let go. I'll be honest. I've cried here on the podcast. I've cried in front of my wife. I've cried in front of my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But I do want to bring something up, and Charles, you said it, and I know Victor, this is big up for you as well. Right on the bottom, guys, is a hotline. There's a lot of them out there. There's a lot, but you at least have one. You have one resource right here on the bottom. I'll leave that up for a minute, but I will say this: over my years of depression, you've heard me years. I am blessed that has never been a thought. It used to be. It used to be. I'll be honest with you guys. When I was in the military, I thought about it. But here's the thing. And I stand very firm with this. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yes.
And in all honesty, you actually hurt those who you do care about worse. And I'm not just talking emotionally, even financially.
Financially, emotionally, just you don't know how loved you are.
Which, you know what, I do want to say this. And Victor, actually, I haven't said it yet, and I told Victor I'd give him credit for this, but he actually said something. Then we'll go to commercial break. But he actually said something on his show about reaching out to the communities.
That's right.
So I am going to run a challenge from now until our Christmas special. And I will create a very special video. It's not just a, giveaway or anything like that. I might just, who knows, Santa may help out with some mag lights for people. Who knows? But we talked to Santa the other day, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You'll find out about that later. But anyway, from now until Christmas, I challenge each and every one of you to go out to the community. Take photos helping out. Show smiles. It doesn't have to be you in the picture. Just you there supporting your community.
Amen.
Supporting other teams. Supporting other groups.
That's right.
And let's celebrate that. Let's do it. And that'll be part of our Christmas special. I will make a special Christmas video for that. So that is my challenge to everybody out there. Now, I really don't like to talk about the suicide because it is very touchy with a lot of people. But let's be honest, guys. Again, permanent solution to a temporary problem. Just keep that in mind. So we're going to take a quick break, and somewhat quick break because we got
on at the end about suicide, but it's going to be at the very end.
No problem. So we're going to go to commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about the outside influences. We talked about the inside. We talked about how to handle that. But I think a lot of us, especially in the paranormal field, deal with a lot of outside influences. And what I mean is people basically giving us shit. And how do we handle that? And what is the message to them? So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this break. We are going to have a regular commercial and the brand new P3 video with someone special in it.
Okay.
So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
It's been coming up like sun above. It's making us come together. Been making plans and joining hands. Come by me, stand and come together. When they know we've had enough, they'll try and call our bluff. But no, there's no stopping us. We're making a promise. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh, yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh, when we don't speak, but they don't see us come together. Behind closed doors, we choose love, not war. It's at our core when we come together. They will hear us loud and clear. We'll walk right through the fear, and then once we'll all appear and say, we're standing right here. Come on. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. It's been coming up like sun above. It's making us come together. Been making plans and joining hands. Come by me, stand and come together. When they know we've had enough, they'll try and call our bluff. But no, there's no stopping us. We're making a promise. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. We're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. They say we're weak when we don't speak, but they don't see us come together. Behind closed doors, we choose love, not war. It's at our core when we come together. They will hear us loud and clear. We'll walk right through the fear, and then once we'll all appear and say, we're standing right here. Come on. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh. Yeah, we're starting up something. We're starting up something. Oh.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, before anybody says anything, I know it's the same song, but it's a good song. I like it.
All right.
So Squeakers had to go take care of something real quick, so she'll be right back. But I do want to give a couple of shout outs real quick, like I always do. First and foremost, Victor, I know you know him. Charles, I don't know if you had a chance to check it out yet, but Brian John Laverty from Parapost and Parapost Network Central. That's our boy. I love Brian, love what he's up to.
Yes.
Definitely go check out Parapost Network Central. You'll see not only this show and the Don Vick show, but a couple of amazing videos. A lot of amazing podcasts, a lot of amazing podcasters, great teams on that platform. Go check them out on Facebook. And while you're over there, go check out the Global Ghost Hunt. That is something that Brian is getting ready to put on. We are excited for it. I am the consultant for the Global Ghost Hunt. I'm working with a lot of amazing people like Nando. He's in the audience tonight, and several others. Hey, go check it out. Register, sign up today, guys. You will not regret it. This is literally game changing. And speaking of game changing, I want to also shout out our new family, something to celebrate this year. Our new family over at Paralinks. Paralinks 1, 2, 3, Live Plus, all those guys. Love those guys. Steven, Howard, Chrissy, Courtney, all of those guys have been so welcoming and loving. Go check them out, guys. We are also on there. We are on actually Paralinks Plus right now. My Monday show, Paraprod Podcast, is on Paralinks 1. And then you can find Squeakers, Lurker, myself, and maybe even the Wicked Consultant on Thursday's show, which is the Petri Dish. But go check them out, guys. Another great, amazing platform. And go check out literally everybody up here, because Paralinks is hosting Fear Fest. I don't know, Victor, we kind of talked about that. Charles, this might be right up your alley. You might like this, but they're basically, think of the Paranormal meets Mardi Gras.
Nice.
Down in New Orleans, down in the French Quarter. Oh boy. It's going to be a lot of fun. They even are having a parade. And it's super exciting. I'm super stoked for them. It is going to be in October of next year. So I'm super excited. I sadly can't make it to this coming years, but you can definitely see the consultant probably coming up in the next couple of years, especially 2024, because I got something special planned, and Victor knows about it, and we're going to be killing it. But and also I have to say thank you to our sponsors over at Maglite. They are amazing. They have been so supportive of the Paracrew podcast and what I'm doing and everything. And I love them. If you guys, we do this in the dark a lot of times. Right. Why wouldn't you get a mag light? Even, I mean, I'm sure you guys are wandering around in the dark at some point. Yeah. Get yourself a mag light, man. I've been using them since I've been in the military, and I absolutely swear by them. They're cheap, they work, they last, and they're made in America. What more do you want?
It's a win-win.
Duh. Of course. But yeah, guys, go check all these guys out that are right here. But you probably noticed up here, I wanted to add that for this season because I want to say thank you to all you guys. Victor, Charles, you guys.
Oops.
Uh-oh.
We lost the host.
I think here we go.
We lost the host.
It's that time of the year. But it's just with you guys too. You guys are included in this. You guys and many others, all you guys watching and listening, you guys helped me get through this depression. You guys are the ones.
Amen. You
guys have been so supportive of everything that I've done, and I couldn't do it without you. Thank you is not enough for me. But I do want to say thank you. You guys really helped me out more than what you know. So thank you. Which David, this Paracrew fan of the month, our boy David. What's up, brother? From Hope Paranormal. Go check out Hope Paranormal. Well. I was wondering when you'd poke your head in. This, if I'm not mistaken, is our brother Brian James. He is starting his new podcast series called Hollywood Hunts.
Okay.
Yeah, that's him. Much love, brother. Much love. David said he's going to be at Fear Fest. Kasara, I think I'm saying your name right. I do apologize if I'm not. Hello. Welcome. Do they ship to Canada? I believe so. I believe they ship worldwide. So, all right. So, guys, we were talking a little bit about this right before the commercial break. Outside influences. Because let's be honest, especially what we do. And I'm sure, Victor, you know what I'm talking about. And Charles, I'm sure you do too, even though your show is positivity. It literally says relax in the title. And I'm sure you've had it too. And I want to talk about the haters. I want to talk about those individuals who, for some reason, and it may be, and I'm not trying to bash any, I want to say this right now. I'm not aiming this towards one individual. We've had a lot of trolls. We've had a lot of haters on these shows, on mine. Some during the show, some after the show. They all get deleted. But I want to know, and we'll start with you this time, Charles. How do you handle it? What's the first step that us as podcasters or people at network, how do we deal with it?
Well, it's not just podcasters. It's people that the subject matter, right? And what I do is a lot of spiritual work as well. And so you have people, if they haven't experienced what you've experienced, if they haven't made their focus in life what you've made your focus in life, then you're going to have experiences that challenge other people's sense of reality. I mean, if you've seen a UFO and you've experienced that, you know what you've experienced. If you've never seen one, whether you believe or you don't, it's not the same as someone who's experienced something. And when we're in the paranormal and in the spiritual field, and I do a lot of meditations, but also a lot of guided spiritual experiences that some people struggle, even with meditation, what is that really doing when I'm connecting? And you get people, I have friends of mine, very well-meaning friends that will be like, oh yeah, Charles is very woo-woo. Charles is very spiritual. He's kind of over here. And even though they're not being mean, they are. And I've talked to a couple of them and said, and I've also realized that at times, some of the greatest haters or some people that have really struggled, something happens in their life and they're calling me. You know what I mean? They're like, guess what? This and that, I just saw this, or I just experienced that. Help me. And there's a part of me that wants to say, oh, really? Now you believe because it happened to you? That human part. But there's also the human compassionate part that realizes, wow, I bet your world just got really rocked because you don't believe these sort of things. So part of it is, and what I've said in my mission, I've shared on the show. I felt it shared to me in a meditation, a spiritual connection, where it literally said, Charles, when you're doing your work, and I'm paraphrasing here, but when you're out here doing your work, there are going to be people that are seeking you and wanting what you have to offer. Others are going to attack you or spew a lot of hate towards you. When that happens, walk on. Send love and light, wish them the best, and walk on, because it has nothing to do with you or your mission. It has everything to do with that individual. So that's part of it and when we're podcasters and different things, then we can it's maybe talking to them if they're, they're every group of followings, and Squeakers knows I've been working for 30 years in the Inland Northwest. And I've had groups, very love and light, passionate groups come together where then people within those groups start fighting, or they start trying to, they start trying to get everybody, hey, are you on this person's side or are you on that person's side? Or, and what I do in those situations is come down and go, whoa, what's happening here? Are we all about love and light? Are we all about a common mission? What has actually gone on right here? Somebody's been hurt. Someone's felt misheard. And if you can get those parties to engage, often you can work right through it. You know what I mean? And then sometimes if you can't, then you end up losing somebody and you are sad about it. But if somebody is going to be negative, you've got to decide in your friends, your family, your relationships, are you going to bring in people that are going to bring in positivity and love? And if they don't, boundaries. The number one first thing to do is, have those boundaries. But number one is for you personally to realize the more you become known, the more you go worldwide. And now with technology, we're worldwide right now. You know what I mean? Someone in the world is not going to like that we're all the great things we're saying tonight, even though arguably we're not saying anything awful. It doesn't, but can somebody find a way? Yes. But the biggest part is not allowing it to take it on. One of my greatest fans of, music I've enjoyed is the Mr. Barry Manilow. Grew up in the 70s, love him. Saw him in an interview recently and have even seen him once in concert. He also knows how to take it. In his concert, he said, hey, I'm about to do a melody of all my hits. if you got drugged here by somebody, this would be the time to go ahead and put on your earplugs or take a bathroom break. You know what I mean? and you know, because he knew. And then in this interview where they were talking with him recently about some things he did, and because a lot of people don't realize, many movies, many artists, many soundtracks, many albums he helped write. But he said, you know, they said, do you ever get bothered that there seems to be a lot of people who love you, but a lot of people just say, you know, they cannot stand you. Mm-hmm. And he said, you know what? The more you touch the world, the more you touch the world. And some people are going to love you and some people are going to hate you. If you're about the love, if you're about the music, that's all that matters. If someone wants to play one of my songs and it makes their day greater, great. If someone cannot imagine listening to my voice, totally understand. Because we're all human and we all have different things going on in our lives, you know. So it's like, and I think for all of you all, as you've been growing, you know, you just start off as a small projects, become bigger, you become more. You're gonna always attract those that are gonna love and appreciate and want to be part of, and then you're gonna have those that are gonna be negative or too much ego, or you know, too much. I only believe this way and not that way, which I always find interesting in the paranormal world. But it goes on. People that I believe in this, but not in that and that and that. Well, if you believe in this, how can you not think there's other things too? But okay, you know, it's like.
I like how you said,
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's dealing with it as really in your audiences and your followings. If there's a negative influence, you want to pull them aside and say, what's happening right now? Because sometimes something will come out and you'll go, oh my gosh, I didn't mean this, or I'm sure that person didn't mean that. Other times you find out there's someone there who's just so hurting and so negative, and we've experienced it. You mentioned military, we mentioned different, I saw that in the military. There are some people that were so negative and so, you know, hard to be a part of the crew with, and there were others that you just couldn't wait to see them that next day. Yeah. You know what I mean? And does that help?
Yeah, that works. And Victor, what about you, brother?
Well, haters are always going to exist, right? Haters are always going to exist. And we got the silent haters, and then we got the haters that we know who they are because they visible with it. So what I've learned from it is to accept it, right? Because no matter if you do good or bad, people are going to talk about you, right? Haters are going to talk about you regardless of what you do, good or bad. Mm-hmm. So I've learned to accept it, you know, and I got this saying that goes, for those that hate me, I thank you greatly, because it's that hate that motivate me, right? Because
like that.
I take that negativity and I turn it into something positive, right? So I don't hate a hater for hating on someone. That's their job. Their job is to hate. So let them hate, right? It doesn't stop me from being me. It doesn't stop me from doing what I'm doing. As long as I know that I'm doing something positive, as long as that I know that I'm bringing out a good message and uplifting people and helping people, that's all that matters. I can't dwell on what the next person is feeling about me. That's their prerogative. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done anything in my power to hurt them, say nothing negative about them. You know, sometimes people just hate you for who you are. You know, not for what you got, you know, just your personality, you know, for being a people's people, because they don't have that talent. You know, so I've learned to just cope with it. You know what I mean? So for those haters out there that don't have any haters to hate on, please feel free to hate on me. Okay, because it's just the way it is. It's the way life is, you know. So what can we do to stop a hater from hating?
Not give them that feel.
Really, so
really nothing.
Right. So I'm not gonna waste my energy, my love, my positive thoughts with someone that's not on my page. You know what I mean? And like Charles said earlier, if you're on my show and you don't like my show, there's plenty of shows out there that you can go on. You know, so for a person to sit here and look at Charles and just dig on him or go on his page and say certain things, you know, like Charles said, they might have a problem, you know, that they got to deal with, you know, or they're not getting enough attention, you know, or they just don't have any skills. So the best thing they can do is talk about someone else, to be relevant. So
be constructive, not destructive.
Exactly. So I've learned to accept it, because when you're doing something positive, you can't bring yourself down to that level, because that's not your character. You're not a hater. So why even scoop down to someone else's level when that's not who you are? You know, and hopefully from what we do, you know, they can learn something.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right. And eventually, if they grow up, you know, if they grow up, maybe they start to fade away, as far as being haters, and either you join us or you don't join us. You know, so that's basically what I've done. You know, I just accept it. You know, because it is what it is, and it's real.
100%. 100%.
And it speaks to the people. And a few years back, I'm going to say 3-4 years ago, I was online and there was a local article that got shared. It wasn't even that controversial, but people started having all these different reactions to it. And I noticed that one person went on and negative reacted to over 100 different people. And I thought to myself, just what I was saying about earlier today is in dealing with people when they're passing, how we spend the moments of our life. If you are spending the moments of your life going onto social media, and instead of going and being around people that are supporting what you're feeling or what you're experiencing or what you believe, you're going to go and find all the people that don't and spend all of your time being hateful to them. What are you doing? What do you do? Bake some cookies. Watch a movie. Take a walk. There are things you could be doing.
If anybody's baking, by all means, hit me up. This fat kiddo. It's been a while since I've had some cupcakes, man.
And I think it's good to grow and learn outside of our circles. But when I see those people that are literally spending their time doing these negative things, I'm like, and I had a friend one time that I sat down with, and a family member, and I said, I think we need to talk. And that was when I talked to him about it. I said, I noticed you spend a lot of time telling all these people that don't believe what you believe how awful they are. What's up? How's life? Because, you know, are you happy? Are you spending most of your day frustrated and angry? Why? When you could choose something different.
Exactly.
Right. And Charles, you know, sometimes they're not even angry.
No.
They just want to be spiteful.
They're just contrary. They're just
They just want to do it because they feel, you know, they get kicks out of it. You know, to be mean to someone else, to say certain things to someone else.
And a lot of times people nowadays are doing it for fame.
Right.
For fame and likes and views and all this other stuff. And it's like that old saying, what was it? And I'm not saying this towards anybody, but it's like that old saying, don't argue with the stupid. Because you're never gonna win.
That's right.
So there is one thing that happens in at least the paranormal field. I'm sure it happens in, you know, the music industry, acting, you know, but I have the experience here with the paranormal. So I wanted to ask your guys' thoughts on this. And this is more of a community statement. This isn't more of this is awareness, or this is tips for the community, not just an individual. So there's a lot of people that go around spreading lies and rumors, and some are not that, let's just say, nice. Some even illegal.
Yeah.
They spread rumors that are straight up illegal. So my question to you two then is, how do you deal with that? Victor, go ahead, brother.
You know, I just don't deal with it. You know, I'm about the community, to help my community. You know, I don't listen to any negativity, you know, at all. I go out to the community and see what I can help out with in the community. You know, you see me. I was out not recently, you know, in the park where we having a problem with needles and a homeless sleeping in the park, and our governor ain't doing nothing about it. So the community have to come out and do the job. You know, uh, so and you hear negativity coming back and forth from the community and for the people in office. You know, but at the end of the day, none of that matters. What matters is that we're there for our children, we're there for our people, and we're there for growth, right? And it goes right back to what I said earlier about the haters. They can say what they want to say. As long as I'm doing something positive and something is being done for the community, for our people, that's all that matters. Bottom line, period. You know, and as long as we move forward, bro, everything else doesn't really matter.
Agreed. Charles, would you like to add anything to that one?
Well, you know, when you're a professional, you're always going to have people that come in different ways. Uh, one thing that used to happen to Helen and I and a group of like counselors, psychologists, hypnotherapists that were all working together is that there was somebody in our town that, when this was back during the time where you're still writing the letters, right? That would either write letters or call our phone and question initials. You know, like if you had initials after.
Yes, yes.
One of the years, you know, and I would for a number of years was a certified clinical hypnotherapist. So that's CHT.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one of the years they got it, a misprint in one of the directories went out, listed me as an LHT. It was supposed to be a C, not an L. This person calls up and he was like, so now are you a long haul truck driver? You know what I mean? And the interesting, you know, so every year, Helen, who I worked with, had some specialized degrees. What does this mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? You're frauds, you know? And even right when the internet, when things were starting, this person literally went on and said, you know, this guy's an LHT. What does that mean? This woman says she has this. Don't know what that means. Suspect these people, you know what I mean? So it was like we responded in the ways that, you know, obviously, yes, this is what her means. Mine was a misprint, you know. All these years later, I have a friend of mine who's, and I haven't seen if he won yet, but he's running for district judge here. And I shared something, and he had shared that someone had emailed them and said, hey, your initials, da, da, da. And I'm like, oh no, is he still around? Is he still doing that? And oh my gosh, this guy spends all day long going through directories and ads and etc. looking for, you know what I mean? And so if someone comes after you personally, and Helen went through that. Helen, who I worked with for years here, she's helped start the P Flag here, youth groups here, women violence groups here. And yet there were people that when she first stepped out and was helping some of the marginalized communities, not just LGBT, but natives and people of color, that just, some of them just had horrible attacks and slurs. And we would get voicemails. When we first started and we added I came on and we added other people that were hypnotherapists. We got these voicemails from a woman that was saying, I know you're in cohorts with the devil. You've been called to Spokane to take us all to hell, you know? And I honestly tried to engage. I thought, you know what, I'm going to try. And everyone in the office said, Charles, I don't even know why. It didn't go well, but I tried to call it. I tried to call and say, hey, just to let you know, because she was also, you're in this so-and-so Satanist group here in town. Didn't even know who that was. And said, you know what, I wrongly said to her, which really set her off. I said, if so-and-so's here and has a Satanist group, yeah, they do. Well, they have the right to do that. I just want to let you know that I'm not part of that. I'm not judging it. It's just not what we're do in our work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And of course, that's all I need to say for her to say. So you're defending them. Well, I'm defending their right. And you don't have to go there and do whatever they do. But yeah, they get to do that too.
People are like, dude, they get nasty about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in the LGBT way too. You know, I mean, I've had so many people that, and even here in our recent couple, I'm going to say 6-7 months ago, maybe a little bit longer, we had both some churches and some African-American community centers that were completely defaced, and people wrote awful things and did things. And it's like, my gosh, we're in 2022, kids. Can we, one of my favorite things from the Dalai Lama was, if you can help somebody, help them, but at least do no harm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you can be supportive and loving, great. If not, do no harm. But if you're a professional and you have somebody spreading rumors and doing those things, that becomes something that you do have to, and I've had that happen. 30 years of practice, you're not going to have that never happen. And I had it happen once with a friend who was saying some things to other people. And then I reached out to them and said, what's going on? And they just broke down, started crying and said, I don't know. I was feeling this way, this way, this way, this way. I just felt like attacking. What do you want me to do? I'll make a statement. I'll do this. I'm like, no, just stop. and if you want to reach back out to anybody, do. But, I was concerned because I know that you're not that type of person. But like Vic pointed out, there are some that make their career of just about tearing people down. And then you do have to address it. If you're talking about from a paracast, if you got someone saying that you're not real or you're not authentic, or you're not being this or that, you've got to address it and say, I'm sorry, this person or this feels this way. This is not true. And that's the other thing, know me and love me by my works. If you love me and you're attracted to me and you feel that there's a reason that we become connected and we have a vision or an experience to share together, awesome, let's do that. If not, that's okay too.
Yep.
It's okay too. There's lots of shows, there's lots of ways to experience.
100%. All right. Well, we reached our time, guys. I appreciate both of you coming on tonight. Honestly, yes, you talked about being a man earlier. Man will always admit when they're wrong or whenever they learn something. Well, believe it or not, you both taught me something tonight. So now I'm going to take what you've taught me and put it into practice. So I'm not going to say what it is. Right. I'm not that big of a man. Man's got to have his secrets. Ladies, you're not the only one with secrets.
Don, I've really enjoyed meeting you and Matt. If Don's agreeable, I'd like to exchange info. I'd love to have him on the show, one of my shows too.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, we had a request.
There you go.
What? What'd you say, Squeak? I didn't hear what you said.
I said connections and networking right there.
Right.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
And
I will get you guys in connected, so that way you guys have each other's information. But speaking of information, we did have a request from the audience to find out where you guys are at. So let's start with you, Charles. You want to give where your podcast is at and where people can listen to you?
Oh yeah. So my podcast is on Blog Talk Radio, Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addict. There's a lot of different ones. If you want to listen live, it's on Blog Talk Radio. The easiest thing you can do is just Google "Relax, Let Go, Be with Charles," and it'll show you right there. Somehow, out of all the Charleses in the world, I'm the only one that have chosen those words together. So there you go. And so that's the easiest way. Or search in your especially Apple Podcast Addict. There's lots of them, just like you guys. Once it gets out there, it keeps going. Mm-hmm. So that's one way to reach out. And I'm also on Facebook. I'm friends with everybody up there. So if you need to reach out, I'm also the type of person you can reach out to individually and say, Charles, I just need to talk, or I need a moment. There's a great portion of my life dedicated to that. So 100%. Reach out.
And he's good at what he does. Mm-hmm. Really good. There's a reason why we keep him around every month.
I appreciate it.
Victor, our man. And if people don't know who you are, where can they find you at, brother?
Yeah, well, I'm the Don Vic. I'm Don Vic from the Don Vic Show. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Parapost Network, and now P3 Family. I'm a part of this family. You guys can find me there. But if you want to reach me out, you want to be part of my show, you go to Facebook, go to Victor Santiago, inbox me, and we can get you on the show. As long as it's something positive that you got to say, we'll bring you on. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be an actor, director, celebrity, boxer. This show is for everybody. And I just want to thank the paranormal world for giving me an opportunity to be part of your circle, Parapost Network, P3. You guys show me so much support, and I just want to say that I thank you and love you guys for the support.
We love you too, brother. We love you. And we love you both because, you talked about a lot of this mental health and the darkness, especially with this time of the year. We 9 times out of 10, we do investigating in the dark.
Right.
So we are very familiar with it. And, in the paranormal, mental health, physical health, emotional health, all that's important. And it plays a lot in what we do. And a lot of people forget that. And that's why I'm so honored to know both of you guys and to be with you guys. And again, guys, if you haven't already, go back, find out where you can find these two at, because it is so worth it. And I'll tell you, Charles has an amazing show. It really helps. I have listened to it, not as much as I'd like to, but I have listened to it. And Victor's show, I'll tell you what, I always I always mess with Victor, and I tell him, I'm a country boy. I like my country. I like my EDM, but this is the only man to get me to listen to rap and sitting here and blasting it on my Bluetooth. It's awesome. It's awesome. So thank you both so much for coming on tonight. Much love to you guys, and we'll definitely be in touch very soon.
You're right.
Oh.
Good night, guys.
Squeakers.
Yes.
We didn't really cuss much, so here we go. Fucking awesome show.
It was a very awesome show. And I do want to touch on something, though, because, at the beginning of this last week, I woke up, got on Facebook, like many of us do, and I saw somebody throwing the word suicide out there. And I got on there and I said, I got on there and I was like, can I help you? How can I help you? And I said, are you getting any help? And I was like, all that kind of stuff to see if I could help this person. And this person writes me back a nasty note telling me pretty much to stop. That's a red flag right there, that you are just throwing it out there for either fame or whatever reason. First off, if I find somebody that does that, I'm going to either A, report you. I'm going to try to get you help before. If I can't do that, I'm going to report you, and then I'm going to block you from our community, because that's not okay to try to get fame from throwing the suicide name out there. Many of us have actually had people commit suicide in our families or as our friends, and it's not okay. I'd rather get you help some way, somehow, than see you personally attack yourself on the internet.
And here's something else too that a lot of people may not realize is when you start threatening, whether it's suicide, violence, slander, whatever, when you start posting that everywhere against an individual or a group or to yourself, it can turn legal, especially suicide.
It really can.
That's enough for somebody to take a screenshot and even just know whereabouts you're at, and they can find you. And you know what? Here's the thing. Take Charles and Victor's advice tonight, guys. Hang into the positive. Focus on the positive. I'll be up front. And I'm not going to name names, but there are some people who are saying that I don't believe in para-unity. I don't believe in positivity. They're personally saying to me that I don't. To those individuals, I will tell you this. I've helped a lot of people in the last 16 years, and I'm not stopping. I don't care whether I have 9 people on or if I have 9,000. If I can help one person, that's enough for me. And that will never change. And if anybody out there is thinking that suicide is the right way, 2 things. 1, permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Exactly.
And 2, please utilize. I saw somebody said in the comments that, it's a little awkward or for them to go seek help. Here's the thing. I've sought help. I go to therapy. I've gone to therapy, anger management, mental. I've gone for it all. And it's made me a better person. And these sessions make me a better person. That is never the right answer.
It's not, and you don't know how much you are actually loved until after it happens.
Yep.
Just because people might not show it does not mean that you're not loved in their hearts, especially if you've got kids, if you've got family that is close to you, but might work a lot. You're still loved in their eyes, even if there's a iffy situation. So, I mean, there's been plenty of times when I could think back to, and I don't talk about this often because it is touchy, but there's been plenty of times when I've said, what could I have done to help certain people in my life that have committed suicide? We can't hold that in our hearts. It's something that we have to come to realize that it was something that was hurting them, which is why I urge you guys not to be fighting or saying things that you can't take back, because life is so short. You just never know. You never know.
Yep.
And it sucks when you lose somebody to suicide when you think that you could have done something.
So check in with each other, guys. We all say that we're family. I mean, Squeakers and I talk almost daily. Lurkers the same way. You know, we are supposed to be a family. So if you haven't reached out, reach out. And you know what? Here's the thing. It said in one of my videos, together we make the difference. And it's true. And it's not just in the paranormal field. It's in each other's lives. So reach out. But anyway, we're gonna get going for tonight. I have to go pick up the Wicked consultant before she hurts me, before I take a trip to the emergency room because I didn't pick her up on time. So I gotta go pick her up. She will beat my ass. She will. And you know it too, Squeaks. You know she will. And don't worry, if she does, it will be videotaped. So it's Exhibit A. I mean, content. But we will be back tomorrow night. What time, Squeak? 7? Ish?
Yeah, right around there. Sorry.
Sure. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow night. We got a special Thursday night edition. Parasolo just came in. What's up, brother? How you doing tonight, Parasolo? But love you, whoops.
We have Craig. I cannot pronounce his last name. Is it
Who?
Aaron or Aaron?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know who it is. I don't even know who it is.
Sorry, I cannot pronounce his last name.
I don't know. But we have a special show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget about Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the Paracrew podcast. And also tomorrow, right after the Paracrew, hopefully Squeakers and I hope you'll be there, will be on the Petri dish. I can't wait. So I do want to say to everybody out there, we love you. We thank you for all your continued support. And please help support others. Again, that contest, that challenge is out there. So please, between now and Christmas, go out to your community, reach out, show some love, show some support, and more importantly, show respect. So from all of us here at the Paracrew, which, by the way, I'm going to play that video. I know some people came in late. I'm going to play that video again. It's a welcome video. I'm going to pull a Howard and play the intro for the outro. But again, guys, we love you guys. We love you guys a lot. Your support means a lot to us, but your support to the community means that much more. So from all of us here at the Paracrew, thank you. We love you guys so much. Keep it up. Keep going. Keep your head up. And fuck the haters. But no, we love you guys. Have a great night. And as always, folks, happy hauntings.
You lose control, you try to stay afloat. I know you feeling like you lost and that you missed your boat. Some days you wanna go and quit and go and get the rope. But don't you ever go and do it, go and have some hope. Just knowing that I feel your pain, cause I've been broken too. You try to go and tell your feelings, no one noticed you. Just know I really feel your pain, know what you going through. And don't you ever feel alone, cause I've been hopeless too.
It's okay to not be okay. It's just not okay to stay that way. The one thing I know about emotions is that they change. You have a reason to live. Get up. Your future is brighter than your past. Get up. Your ladder is greater than your former. Get up, because the best is still yet to come.
On your hardest days, take a deep breath and repeat these words. Whatever happens, I will be okay. These feelings won't break me. I always end up okay, and this time is no different. I can survive this too.
I just want to let you know that you are honestly one of the most amazing human beings that I've met in this life. And I know this may seem dramatic, but I appreciate you.